more preparation on her side of it? So speaking of Tiffany, she's definitely, I think, our newest superstar.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Within the last like 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing that show that she bombed, what was your reaction to that? Did you understand it? Is that part of the game? Do you think it could have been more preparation on her side of it?
I can tell you exactly how I feel about that. She's in a very tough position. Now, like I mentioned before with Chris Rock, when you're about to do a special, because she got a Netflix deal, so she got to create a whole nother hour because she already got a Showtime special that's out there. So you can't do that hour. But to perfect the hour of stand-up comedy, you got to go in obscure little places and clubs and, off nights. And like you'll see Chris Rock somewhere at 2 o'clock in the morning in New York at the Cellar or whatever the clubs, because I don't do the whole New York circuit often. But he's known to pop in late and go on stage and work an hour. Now, that hour might not be funny top to bottom, but he's working his material out of the spotlight. Tiffany is here, right? And now the expectation is for her to be here. And you cannot create and work on material as a headliner.
In front of 10,000 people.
In front of people with the high expectations. They're not going to give you the room to do it. So her handlers are putting her in a wrong position. She can still do it and still have a tour, but she should host it. Like I said earlier, when you're hosting, the pressure's not on you. It's the other comics. People look at the host as you just warming up, blah, blah, blah. She should host her tour and do her material and work it out in between the other acts. That would take a lot of pressure. To stand there for 45 minutes and try to do new material, which is why she had her iPad there, because she's trying to figure it out. You can't figure it out as a headliner. You can't do that.
Do you think that takes like a different type of talent? Like, I feel like a Cat Williams, to me, is like
a seasoned veteran comic. And Tiffany's been in the business a long time, but as Kat stated in the interview, she has not had to do 1-hour sets across the country, headlining, following funny people. That's a different thing. So Chris Rock now does not have to go in a club to do he'll take himself out on tour and they'll film the tour and they keep the shows they like. Kevin Hart get his team together, they get his set together and they go out on that tour. And during that tour, at the end of that tour, the best part of that would become the special. But they had the scrutiny to do that because no phones allowed. If you look at Chappelle, Rock, and Kevin Hart, when they're doing that tour and they're working on the material, you got to turn your phone in at the door. So you don't see if the shit didn't work. You don't see if the joke was off or on. You might hear about it, but you ain't got a video. James L. Knight Center was wide open.
That's a great point to consider.
Yeah.
Tiffany should have probably looked into that.
Well, but that wouldn't have fixed that night. She was not prepared, and it's hard to do it in that position. It's going to happen more than once because you have such a high expectation. And then black folks love to be critical, and we love to see our
we love to crash and burn.
Yeah, we love to see, it was a guy on the video, yeah, look at old girl, she bombing. Yeah, he called hell for that though. But that's our mentality, man, and it's unfortunate because, the same thing can happen to a Seinfeld, but that shit ain't gonna be out there like that.
Not at all.
So she's in a rough position, man.